Good afternoon. Today is the 6th of November, although you'll probably be seeing this at the beginning of next week, so about the 9th of November. And it's time to talk about the top 10 best-selling cars of October 2020. Before I get into this in more detail, welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. This is a monthly feature that I've been doing for about 2 years now, where we look at the SMMT data for the vehicle registrations from last month and we compare that with the previous year. So I am comparing vehicle registrations between October 2019 and October 2020. I know a lot of you, perhaps this isn't the sort of content that you subscribed for, but we've been doing this a very long time now, and I know a lot of the regular viewers do like it, so we continue to make these videos. When I say, for example, looking at my statistics now, because I've got the website up right here, when I say that, for example, there was a percentage change between private vehicle sales between October 2019 and October 2020, and I say private sales were 0.4% up, that means between October 2019 and October 2020, there was a 0.4 increase in private vehicle registrations. I know I will use the terms registration and sales interchangeably, but we're actually looking at registrations. It's just easier to say sales because that sounds better. And that's exactly what it is. The market share for private registrations last year was 42%. It's now 42.9%. With fleet registrations, there was a minus 3.3% change. So there were fewer fleet vehicles registered last month as compared with 2019. The market share for that is still higher than private sales. It's at now 54.8%. It was 55.8%. Business sales now make up a very small percentage of UK car sales. They used to make up a lot more. The market share is about the same. The percentage change is actually 4%. So overall, we're actually looking at not that bad statistics. There's anything going on in the world, but I suspect this month is going to be a bit less. Now, the total is a minus 1.8% change. That means that between last October and this October, registrations are down 1.8%. I think that's easy to understand. The next thing we're going to look at, of course, is sales. I get questions all the time. Why don't you talk about diesels on the channel? We actually did a video about this last month. Diesels are becoming less and less relevant in the new car market. They just are. The percentage of the market is massively down. I mean, for example, we've got here, what's the percentage market share for diesel sales in October 2019? It was 23.7%. Last month, it's under 15%. Under 15% of new car registrations are now diesel. It's just not relevant anymore. A lot of diesels are getting banned from ultra emission zones. I do feature diesel vehicles on the channel sometimes, and I've got reviews of two Sangyongs that were diesel. Sometimes diesel is relevant still for very high mileage drivers, for very large vehicles. It is still relevant, but for the majority of people just buying everyday ordinary cars, it's not. And of course, a lot of them will be banned from not banned exactly, but they'll be not able to enter the Bath ultra low emission zone, the Birmingham ultra low emission zone, and of course the existing London ultra low emission zone without incurring a fine, unless your diesel vehicle is after September 2015 or thereabouts. So that's why we don't mention them too much, because they is a in joke. We've had that since the very first video on the channel in September 2018, but they're just becoming less and less relevant. I mean, obviously feel free to buy a second-hand one, but so many cities are now not favouring diesel cars, and they will attract penalties, and the tax regime is not structured towards them. So it's just the way that it is. Maybe it's a shame for many of you who own them. I have owned two diesel cars. The last one I owned until January this year. So yeah, that's just the way that it is. I'm not saying that I favour this. I'm just saying that that's the way that things have gone. Sorry, my phone keeps vibrating. I do apologise. We'll continue now. So petrol sales. Diesel sales are down 38.4% year upon year. When we just look at the month of October. Petrol sales are down 21.3%. The market share has gone down from 62% to under 50%. So even petrol is declining quite quickly. What is increasing is battery electric vehicles. That's full electric vehicles like Teslas, MGZ SEVs, MG5 EVs, Nissan Leafs, things like that. That has gone from a 2.2% market share last October to 6.6% market share last month. That's a 195% increase. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, that's things like the Seat Leon plug-in hybrid that just come out. That has gone from a 2.2% market share last October to a 5.5% market share last month, and that's an increase of 149%. Mild hybrid diesel cars, that's things like the Audi A4 and the Kia Sportage, that has gone from a 2.7% market share to 4.3%. That's an increase of 56%. Mild hybrid petrol vehicles, this is things like the Suzuki Ignis, and there's loads more. The new Golf, for example, as well, but only certain transmissions of the Golf. But they've gone from 1.7% market share to 11.4% market share in a year. Last October it was less than 2%. This year it's getting up to 12%. It's a 545% increase. 545% increase. Hybrid electric vehicles are like the Toyota Corolla. They're separate from mild hybrids, by the way, because mild hybrids are very small systems, just to give a tiny 1 horsepower or less increase, and a bit like a sort of starter generator, they call them sometimes. But full hybrids, not plug-in ones, full hybrids, Prius, the Hyundai Ioniq's available with this powertrain. The Toyota Corolla's going, so many of them about that now. That's gone from 5% to 7.8%. So it's still a 39% increase year on year, but not as big as the others. And of course, the total sales for October 2019 compared to October 2020, it shows a 1.8% decrease, which I don't think is particularly bad at all. Let's now get on to what are the top 10 best-selling cars for October 2020. And top spot this time is actually Mercedes. I've said in previous videos that Mercedes and Volkswagen might well actually surpass Ford quite soon as Britain's favourite vehicle brand. And with Mercedes-Benz A-Class at the top spot for October 2020, with just under 4,150 vehicles sold, then that might well be the case. Second place is the Corsa, 3,957, above the Fiesta, which is, the best-selling car for the last 20 years at least. That's in third place, 3,845. Then the Golf, no surprises there. Big seller in this country, Mark 8's just out, 3,831. Then the Ford Puma, but it's very close to the Fiesta actually. It's only about 250 registrations away from the Fiesta. Fifth place, so 3,609. Sixth place, amazingly, the Volvo XC40. But I don't know if that's just the what's called the recharge version, or all the normal versions that they sell as well, but all of them. It's 3,548. Seventh place is a Mini, 3,100. No surprises there. Ford Focus, again, a very regular car in the top 10, 2,823. BMW 1 Series, that does come in the top 10 quite often. Mr. Willard from Max Beamer will appreciate that. And then the Audi A3 at the bottom, not a car I've seen in the top 10 for a while, but just behind the BMW 1 Series, 2,523, 10th place. Now we come to what is always my favourite bit of these videos. We look at the brand breakdown of how many different manufacturers have sold, more or fewer cars compared with a year ago. So first one's always a Bart, and they have a 0.5, sorry, a 5.4% decrease in their sales between October 2019 and 2020. Any figure above minus 1.8 is good, because that's the average trend we're seeing of registrations and sales. Alfa Romeo are down by 32.4%. FCA haven't on to a very good start this time. Alpine, for some reason, I don't normally mention them, but they're 50% down. I don't even know if the Alpine brand will survive, to be honest. Renault keep discontinuing a lot of their models, and they own Alpine too. So that's sad for them. Audi, well, they have had a 51.2% increase in their sales, which is remarkable, really good. They're at 8% market share. In contrast, Alfa Romeo are at 0.1% market share. Crazy. We love our German cars in this country. Bentley, 5% decrease. Don't know why. They're less than 0.1% market share. So BMW, direct competitor to Audi, minus 10.43%. I don't know why that is. They have a slightly less market share. They've got 7.7%. Citroen, not too bad, I suppose. They're at about a 1.7% market share and 7.2% decrease over 2019. Dacia, very close to the average. They're at like a sort of 0.9% market share, and they are at minus 2.7%. DS, very small player in this country for some reason, although they did make some nice looking cars. Their market share is 0.14%, and they are 27.5% down in this market. Fiat, buck the trend with FCA here. It's a 2.2% increase. I don't know particularly why. Probably the 500 I think it's 500 mild hybrid they've got now, and the 500 electric that's coming soon, possibly to do with that. That car desperately needed a new powertrain at 500. Ford, in contrast to Fiat, 1.2% market share. Ford have a 9.2% market share, although if we look at Audi, it's actually not that far away. Crazy, isn't it? 22.7% decrease, and the number of cars they sold was about 13,000. Honda, still declining, unfortunately. 1.5% market share, 5.5% decrease. Hyundai, huge decrease for some reason. I'm not really sure why. 2.9% market share, 4,000 cars sold, 27% down. Jaguar, 1,800 cars sold, 1.3% market share, 26% decrease. Don't know why. Jeep, always the best performing brand for FCA in this country. 0.3% market share, 500 or so cars sold, 11.4% increase, which is very, very good. Kia, 6,000 cars sold. We much prefer our Kias to Hyundais in this country, probably due to the 7-year warranty. 4.3% market share, minus 1.1%, so above average. Land Rover, 4,800 cars sold, 3.4% market share, minus 17.3%. I think people generally are going for cheaper brands, possibly, or German ones. So this seems to be the trend I've observed, really. Lexus, just under 1,000 cars sold, 0.7% market share, 13% decrease. Maserati, under 50 cars sold, 0.03% market share, 36% decrease. They're a very minor player in our market now. Mazda, 1,500 cars sold, or thereabouts, 1.1% market share, 22% decrease. Don't know why. I love Mazdas. They're brilliant cars. I have had a Mazda, and we've had at least 2 Mazdas on this channel now. It could just be the MX-5. I could be wrong about that, but I'd like to review more. Mercedes-Benz, a massive total of 11,000 cars sold last month, 7.7% market share. and a decrease of 3.8%. Not too bad. MG, predictably, huge increase, 127% decrease on October 2019. Just under 1,900 cars sold, 1.3% market share. That's actually bigger than Mazda now, bigger than Jaguar, and bigger than Fiat. Absolutely insane. Bigger than Fiat now. There you go. Mini, they're even bigger than MG, continue to sell well, maybe due to the Mini Electric, I'm not sure. Just over 4,000 cars sold, 3% market share, 25% increase. Very good. Mitsubishi, a brand, I think that might be being rescued by the SsangYong UK importers soon, actually. That's an interesting idea for a video topic if you want to hear about that. 532 cars sold, 0.38% market share, 1% decrease. That's no surprise, really, considering they've announced they're pulling out of the UK market. Peugeot, pretty good. Just over 1,000 cars sold, 3.77% market share, and an increase of 4.3%. Excellent. Polestar, a new entry on this list, 207 cars sold last month. Nothing to compare it with because they're a new brand. Don't know. It's not. It's a 0.15% market share. There we go. That's better than Bentley, I think. Porsche, 1,200 cars sold, thereabouts, 0.9% market share, minus 24% decrease. There we go. Renault, probably the new Clio, I think. Planet Auto actually have had one of those on my channel recently, so expect the full video to come quite soon. Just over 3,000 cars sold, 2.2% market share, and yeah, 5.1% increase. A massive reversal in trend for them. Wonderful. Seat, 3,500 cars sold, 2.5% market share, so a little bit above Renault, but their sales are down 24%. 24% decrease. I don't know why, because the next manufacturer is Skoda, who I would have thought would have competed for many of the same buyers. So it's 5,700 cars sold, 4% market share, 13% increase. Smart, this is the only manufacturer to sort of rival the increase of MG. They're basically a new brand. I think they're electric only now. 159 cars sold, 0.11% market share, 112% increase. Very good. SsangYong, 87 cars sold, 0.6% market share, and a 5% decrease. I don't know why. SsangYongs are brilliant. We own one. What can I say? Even Subaru did better than them last month. Subaru actually had the first time I've had an increase in their market share. Wow. 99 cars sold, 0.7% market share, 12.5% increase. Fantastic. Suzuki, again, a brand that I've not seen an increase of for a while, but you know, they're practically all mild hybrids now. So it's a 0.9% market share, 1,250 cars sold, a 2.2% increase. Fantastic. Toyota, no surprise here with that Corolla. It's a big seller in this country. I think they're still made in Burnaston as well, in Derbyshire. 8,000 cars sold, 5.6% market share, 8.2% increase. So lots of manufacturers, very positive news, like Vauxhall's next. 8,300 cars sold, 5.9% market share, 38% increase. They've got to be happy with that, surely. Surely they're going to be happy with that. Volkswagen, gosh, they're getting really close to Ford with their sales. Ford were just under 13,000. Volkswagen just under 12,000. Crazy. So, yeah, just under 12,000 cars sold, 8.5% market share, 30% decrease, but less of a decrease in Ford. Volvo, as we've seen with the top 10 bestsellers, the XC40, I think it's 6th place. 5,700 cars sold, 4% market share. Wow, for Volvo. 52% increase over October 2019. Fantastic. Then Tesla we don't mention because they're counted as other imports. They're not counted as their own separate brand for some reason, although Polestar are. Work that out. So there we are, the top 10 best-selling cars of October 2020. I don't think we're going to have that many cars sold this month. A lot of the dealerships closed yesterday until at least the 2nd of December. Hopefully it will only be that. So yes, I think that's quite good news, although October 2019 was not a big selling month because of uncertainty over, Brexit, which I don't know why I have to keep saying that word. But yes, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to like this video, to leave a comment below. I'll be back with more registrations at the beginning of next month. I've got a Facebook page, facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, and also Instagram, instagram.com/Lloyd_vehicle_consulting. Thank you.